I see the people that we're serving as myself. I feel it. It's so who can serve the people, our people, in those situations who are broken already better than the people who've been there and understand it. Coming off a reservation, and I'm not trying to, criticize tribal leadership or, that the reservations are just totally a bad thing. It's more about my experience, and I do visit a lot of people because we have support groups, and I work with those transitioning, and I do get a lot of feedback. And for a lot of them, they don't want to go back to the reservations because it was toxic for them. And so for them to rebuild their life, they're looking to an area such as Bismarck to be able to do that, because there are jobs, because there is a college, there's more housing. The problem here is that there's not enough housing that is affordable and accessible. So that's the issue. Although there's a lot of housing, there's a lot of jobs, we can't access them. The populations that I'm working with. Because of the lack of credit scores, the criminal histories, and not always just felonies, it's just multiple criminal histories, And so instead of being reactive, we're fostering a more preventative and intervention platform. And so the idea is to develop people with a holistic approach. And so, of course, through my own personal experience of being, going through addiction, and you name it. It almost, looking back now in hindsight, it almost feels that God has set me up for something like this, because I've been through, all of it, domestic violence, poverty, of course, the traumas, childhood traumas, all the way to the traumas that happen during addiction. It's the incarceration, all of that. So, I've lost my son. I'm thankful that I had his grandmother there that was able to take him during that time. Not everybody has that. And then they go to social services. And I was fortunate that I just had one child. So it was manageable, and I think about those who are dealing with the addiction and then they don't want that. They just don't know how to quit. And so we're creating that platform, and I think of all those children that are getting torn apart. There's more than 2 children, and then they have to get split because not everybody can take multiple children. And everybody has their own preferences, and they can choose as they please. And so we are working with those efforts as well. So we're trying to recruit Native American parents for Native American children. And so although we're focused primarily on the adults, on Native American adults, the idea is to really restore the whole family. And so working with youth organizations and the public schools, it's really vital to be able to do that, so that we're serving that whole family and creating those environments for them.